Our first season in the Championship ended in playoff heartache, losing the final 2-0 to Sunderland. Heim's Wings would have to come out again next season, ready to go. Would we stay up again? Would we push for promotion? Would we go through playoff drama again? This is where you find out the metal and the steel that this Heim's Wings side have. Let's get into that second Championship season. Big losses in the transfer window included players like Luke Chambers going to play Premier League football. We said he was a Premier League left back, and he proved it by making a big money move to Middlesbrough, who went up and won the league last season. Tony Weston, our top scorer from last season, also departed the football club. Wanted big money, wanted £21,000 a week. We couldn't afford to pay that him here, so we sold him to Monza for a huge fee for the football club. The replacements were in for Luke Chambers. We went with Andy Lyons. Now, he's been playing League One football pretty much all of his career. Former Shamrock Rovers man. He will have to step it up if he's going to replace Chambers at left back. We did also spend money on one player. Enoch El Hassan is a new gen coming through the football club. The young Ghanaian has got a lot of promise at right or centre back. Picked him up for a relatively cheap fee of £54,000. Other players that came into the football club that I think are going to be key for us this season are loan players. Joe Wharton can play across the front line, will be key for us. If he can score goals up front, if he can develop, he should push forward in this save. Divin Muamba is a player that we've had on many a save on this channel. You would have seen him on my Derby save. He fired us to promotion last time I had him in the Championship. We're hoping for the same from Big Divin. Leo Fua Haider is a left and centre back who was released on a free, and we had to bring him in. Norwegian international is an absolute quality player, adds absolute quality to this squad, and adds a little bit of star player flair to it as well. Kiprich comes back in on loan from Leicester, was a key player for us last season, will no doubt be a key player for us this season as well. And Junior Chamandu, Cameroonian international right back, was an absolute steal on a free transfer. Him and Lyons will be key. Where will we finish this season? The season preview is not as kind to us as we would have liked. It is not where we want to be in terms of this football club. If we take a look at that shortly, the Sky Bet Championship season preview is in. It's saying we are going to finish in the relegation zone. 151, 23rd in the league, having to compete with teams like Bournemouth with Robert Sanchez. Just look at that Championship Dream 11. That is a team that could do well in the Premier League, let alone the Championship. The Championship season's about to start. Let's get into it. It was a season filled with absolutely massive wins and big moves in the transfer market. David Datro Fofana got released by Chelsea, and we signed him and snapped him up on a free transfer to add firepower to our already looking absolutely solid front line. We put 7 past Crystal Palace in a game which was very typical for us this season. Joe Wharton bagging a lot of goals as we progressed through the season and just absolutely drubbed sides. Sheffield United after Crystal Palace were another side that we put 7 past. Jefferson combining with David Datro Fofana in his debut game scored a hat-trick of goals against Sheffield United. The Wings had never seen a player like David Datro Fofana before, and will most likely never see a player like him again. He is becoming a club legend. Andy Lyons developed into a good Premier League player, being a late developer in this squad, providing goals for Datro. He had one of the best seasons a left-back will ever have in a game of Football Manager. What a season we had as the Wings boss. It culminated in us absolutely smashing the league. We put up 121 points in the league, with Daniel Jefferson scoring 32 goals and Joe Wharton scoring 31. A combined force of 63 goals in 46 league games. It is something to be unmatched. Whitaker, 22 assists. Junior, 20 assists. Andy Lyons, 19 assists as well. Wolves spent £100 million and finished in the playoffs. That is just to put some context to it. I will show you the updated January transfers because there were some ins and outs as mentioned. David Fatro Fofana came into the football club on a free transfer after being released by Chelsea. It's a no-brainer. It's David Datro Fofana. He's getting signed. That was as simple as that. He got 15 in 26 in the end. We needed a sub-goalkeeper as Luca Gunter was getting injured quite a lot, and Josh Ray came in as backup for 100k from Liverpool. Just about as good as Luca Gunter, but did concede a lot of goals to Chelsea in the FA Cup. We did also make one more sale in that transfer window, and we sold Joel Geldhart to Genoa. Contract was expiring, had big injuries with us. We thought we'd cash in whilst we could. And if we take a look at the schedule before we get into the stats from the team, you will see all season long we put goals and goals and goals past teams. Carabao Cup 6-2 wins, kicked it off 7-3 against Sheffield Wednesday. And as you will see, the results just keep coming in. A Carabao Cup loss to Arsenal is not to be sniffed at all. But then that run and sea of greens, as we see. Our annual loss to Luton continued, beating us 3-2. 6-4 to Chelsea in the FA Cup away from home in a ding-dong tie. And then that 7-3 against Palace that you saw. Also, a defeat to Blackburn didn't matter in the end because we'd already secured the title at this point. As we rolled through the season, a 3-2 loss to Ipswich again didn't matter at that stage. As we went on a 2-0 and a 3-0 win, we beat Luton for the first time, wrapping up the season. Something we hadn't done before, so can't complain with beating Luton and getting to the Premier League, lads. We are Premier League. Say we are Premier League. So that non-league to Premier League, the first thing is ticked off. We have won all of the leagues we've been in as well, from the Vanarama National South all the way to the Championship. We now compete in the Premier League for the first time. But if we take a look at the stats of this squad, Daniel Jebison and Joe Wharton scoring a lot of goals, providing a lot of assists. My guy, Daniel Jebison, just needed that extra season in the Championship, and he is coming good, lads. What a striker he is to get on a free transfer. Charlie Whittaker played from us from League One. Now he's going Premier League ball, lads. Charlie Whittaker, the young Evertonian. What a player he's been for the football club. Shola Shotieri. Many of you said in the comments that he would not do it for us, but he has delivered. What a player this young man is. 25 years of age. We've seen David Datro Fofana before. You'll keep seeing him. He's going to be key for this football club. What a player he is to sign on a free transfer. And on that wage budget as well. What a sign-in he is. Even Divin Muamba had an off-the-bench season, providing some goals and assists from the bench. Decent player. Not the player I thought he was going to be, but again, did the business for us. But the main man this season has been Andy Lyons. He is a top-class Premier League right or left back, lads. Didn't see that coming. Late developer. You can't go wrong with it. What a player this man is. And as we move down, Enoch Al-Hassan didn't really develop as I thought he would do. He is still developing, still got a lot of talent. We'll most likely keep him next season and loan him out. Potentially, we do have, before we wrap up this video, I will show you our transfer budget for next season. We've got £28 million on £236 worth of transfer budget. We'll have to be shrewd in our signings. We'll have to keep our key players. We'll have to improve in areas. But the wings are Premier League